It's Madden NFL 24, and we've got a showdown in the AFC South. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today it's an intra-division matchup in the AFC South, as it'll be the Tennessee Titans taking on the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, the Colts coming off a tough year, just 4 wins in 2022. You think that they can compete this year in the AFC South?
I do, because I think it's a wide-open division, brand new head coach, brand new way of doing things, likely a brand new quarterback, and a defense that I think is a little bit on the underrated side. So yes, absolutely, I think they can compete in their division.
But meanwhile, the Titans last year, they were one of those strange statistical anomalies, CD. When you look at their defense, they were the best in football, #1 overall against the run, but worst in the league, number 32 against the pass.
And part of the reason they were #1 against the run, the struggles they had slowing people down through the air, so people threw it and threw it and threw it and had great success. And a team that should have been in the playoffs last year somehow managed to miss it.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Returning it, Isaiah McKenzie. And able to get this out to the 25. So here come the Colts to take over for the first time, and leading the way is the number 4 pick in the draft out of Florida. Here's Anthony Richardson.
The moment Anthony Richardson's name was announced as the 4th pick in the 2023 draft, it changed the landscape and probably our viewing habits with the NFL. He is must-see viewing. Tremendous athlete, not a lot of experience, but the ceiling as high as it possibly can be.
And Richardson will throw to start out here. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
That's a good start to the ball game. Maybe a little bit of a tone setter offensively. They come out throwing right away, and it's an early completion and a quick first down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Richardson looking to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Kylan Granson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 4. So, Charles, take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback.
And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with that's going to confuse, disguise a lot of coverage, make this kid think a little bit. Because in college, he's seen a lot of things. Let's not get it wrong here. But at the same time, in the NFL, you can do so much more because of the athletes you have, because of their football IQ. And don't forget, you're going to throw a couple extra rushers at him as well. See if he can handle the pressure when those guys come at him.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. Well, the Titans ready to take over on offense for the first time, and it is the now 35-year-old Ryan Tannehill who leads them out in his 12th NFL campaign.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. Got his man, Okonkwo. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. The NFL's second leading rusher in 2022. Here's Derrick Henry. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Back to throw, Tannehill. Going deep for Hopkins. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. First and 10, it's Richardson. Connecting over the middle of downs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Second down and a little more than a yard here. They'll run with a former Bill, Zach Moss. That one a first down pickup of 8.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll go again here with Moss. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4. Here's Richardson to throw. And he lost the football. Oh, one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Look at the big man rumble. Down the right sideline. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And really, you can't have a better situation than this. 1st and goal at the 1. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Henry will take this into the end zone for a Titans touchdown.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches. I think you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
Nick Folk for the point after. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
1st and 10, Richardson looks to throw it. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 in the 1st.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 1st downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But if the assignment gets mixed up, that's the end result.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 in the 1st.
Well, I don't want to be a jinx partner, put the whammy on him, but I I think we could be looking at all-time damn the ground with the way that he's going. Only a few quarterbacks in this league are capable of a 100-yard game, and he's halfway there just in the first quarter. This is a record-setting pace. Hopefully, he can keep it up, and we can have fun watching it.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Quick throw completed by Richardson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Richardson now on 3rd and goal. The decision to scramble almost got him the first, just short 9 yards, and it brings up 4th and inches.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. Going for it on 4th, Richardson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Titans defense will celebrate the goal line stand. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. McKenzie now to return it. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
1st down, they stay with Moss on the ground. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. And he's got Pierce. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. To the right side and into the hands of the tight end, Glanson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Now 2nd and 5. 2nd down, here's Richardson. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Richardson yet again. And that is incomplete. 4th down now as the Titans defense holds up in coverage.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Gay's kick is good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So add 3. All told, after the safety, it's a 5-point swing. That could have turned out much worse.
Well, you don't want to say no harm, no foul, but I do believe you're right. A 9-point swing hurts. 5 points, much more manageable, especially in a tight game like this.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Remember, they had the safety go against them on their last possession. That was followed by the field goal a moment ago. So they've taken a couple of hits recently, but still lead it here as they start 1st and 10. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Again, it's Henry. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Off play action, Tannehill. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Good footwork at the 30. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Indy set to go on offense once more. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 1st down, they'll start out with Moss. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's on the tackle, Braden Smith. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Moss on the give up the middle. Able to slither by, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tannehill.
That's complete to Westbrook-Akine.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the 1st as well.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they'd pick up the 1st. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself. A 1st down carry for Henry. Shoves him aside.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. No gain, and it's second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Tannehill.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there's no space available. And incompletion as a result.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Now it's Tannehill.
Short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On fourth down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkout bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start on the ground with Moss. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Right back to Moss.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Third down at 6. Richardson looking to throw.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
So a roughing the passer penalty there, CD.
And we know that these pass rushers love to get after rookie quarterbacks, but they've still got to do it within the scope of the rules. And that time, the hit came just a little bit too late. And an official won't even think twice about pulling his flag on that one.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was onto it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for third down.
Richardson shotgun on third down.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
This is taken around the 12. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Tannehill now to throw.
That'll be complete to Okonkwo.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Now this throw caught left side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Running left, it's Henry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 20, here's 2nd down and a yard.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
They'll run it again with Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Inside handoff, Henry. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Titans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Tannehill. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
A loss of 3 on a sack made by multiple defenders. So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on 3rd down as a real key down in any drive, any situation, and they took full advantage of 3rd down there and made a play.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off.
This taken in at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
2nd and 10, back to the air with Richardson. He'll drop this underneath the Moss.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Richardson.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
Put Autry anywhere along the line, and he'll produce for you. At least 7.5 sacks in 4 of his last 5 seasons with the Colts and Titans.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
3rd and long for Richardson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 35. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
First and 10, Richardson looks to throw it.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Richardson working from the gun. And he couldn't get that one to his man. Short of him, it's low and incomplete.
Well, it would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Richardson out of the shotgun.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. So instead of 4th down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Back to the air with Richardson. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here's Richardson to throw.
Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown Colts.
Kylan Granson.
25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Colts will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 2. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Titans offense going to get one final possession in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Dio Odangbo.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. What a first half we saw from the number 4 overall pick back in April, Anthony Richardson. He had a touchdown pass in that first half, helping his guys to a halftime advantage.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Second half begins with a run by Henry. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Back to throw, Tannehill. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
In motion is Westbrook-Ikhine.
On first down, Tannehill.
Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up second down. A handoff, running left, Henry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's Tannehill. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half.
On first down, Richardson.
Forced out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
This defense coming out after the half, and if that play's any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Now it's Richardson. And this taken in by Downs.
No gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at the 43. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10.
Tennessee offense set to go again.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
45 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Tannehill. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans.
Back to throw.
They'll set up the screen for Spears. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Folks' kick is good.
And they take the lead out in front at 13-12. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And the Colts getting ready to go.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Azeez Al-Shaair, former 49er, in on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
They'll go up the middle here with Moss.
Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Now a give running left with Moss. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, it's Richardson to throw it.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the 46, here's the second down and 9.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Play action. Now Richardson. That is caught. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 30. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
First and 10. Here's Richardson with it.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That was a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulated right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Richardson to the air on first down.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Danico Autry picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
And Gay knocks this one through, and they have regained the lead. They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound good. It sounds like counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They begin with Henry. Shoves him away. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Tannehill.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. In motion is Westbrook-Ikhine.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And the Colts coming out now.
They'll be hoping to work a little clock and try to add on to this slim 4th quarter lead. But whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture.
Following the fumble recovery, Richardson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, back to the air with Richardson. And that's caught by the tight end, Granson.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
2nd and 7. Richardson now on 2nd down.
And this is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Moss will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so, and one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Moss once more. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone.
Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say...
And this time he is in.
touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Colts will add to their fourth quarter lead. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on third down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point by Gain is up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Titans getting set and ready to go here for their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll start with a give to Henry.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9 from the 44.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Dial Odangbo able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On is the punt team now as this one sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Second down, here's Richardson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Tannehill. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now it's Tannehill. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? And then
under pressure, and they got to him again. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Tannehill. He'll fire deep, looking for more. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. And that penalty will move the ball to the 1-yard line.
It's so difficult to cover a fade route, and you're talking about into the end zone, and sometimes you panic a little as a defender. And the offensive guys are really smart. Sometimes they jump back into you and create the contact.
After the penalty, it's Henry. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Second down, they go again with Henry.
And Power running here down to the 6-yard line.
99 yards on the ground for him so far.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
The Titans on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So here's Nick Folk in an important spot. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
Folk's kick is good. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Inside the 10, touchdown, Indianapolis.
Anthony Richardson.
62 yards.
And the Colts use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. So an electrifying run there as he calls his own number and takes it all the way.
Brings a new dynamic to this offense, doesn't he? And right now I'm picturing the offensive coordinator, the head coach in their minds, drawing up some more running plays for this guy because he brings some excitement to this offense.
And just a young rookie, a lot of electricity yet to come in this career. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches, and the 2-point attempt is turned aside. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Now a throw here to his running back, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the 1st down before taking the hit.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Tannehill's throw complete there to Moore.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Tannehill to throw. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Will the defense pressure or sit back? Here's 4th and 5. Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. Open man, Westbrook-Akine. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Dio Odengbo in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
That one's taken in by Spears. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Now Tannehill. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
No choice but to go. Here's fourth down now.
Here we go on fourth. Tannehill. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth.
Down to a knee goes Richardson, and that should finish off this victory.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Another one in the books for his partner. Always great to be by your side. And look, both offenses, both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner. And let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.